Hey, how's it going? Um, we have started getting into the RV, and we're starting to find a few things that we didn't initially really take a good look at. One of which, if you look over here, was this wall. And as you can see, there's some water damage. It's not what I wanted, but it is what it is. I do suggest that whenever you go, and I mean, we did this, we stomped around on the floors, but for some reason, the one thing I didn't do was push on this particular wall. I don't know why, because I did it on every other wall. I pulled all the drawers out. I went through everything, checked everything, and I just missed this wall for some reason. So in the end, it's like I said, it's not really that big of a deal. There is some antennas and some places over here. I'm thinking that's where the water trailed in at, because if you look, it's soft all the way at the top, which tells me either water's been trailing somewhere, or it was only leaking in this area, because it's not really soft over here. And water, there's really nowhere for water to come in over here with the slide in, because the slide in actually seals right here, and then it seals right up along this edge outside. So there's really no place for water to permeate through here. But not only that, because of how high it is, I don't believe it had anything to do with the slide out. It's something up here. Either we got a satellite dish like over this way, and then I think there's like some antennas over here and stuff. I'm gonna get to tearing this stuff out, and we'll see what kind of damage we got. Yeah, if you look here, they've got wire nuts on everything, which I'm positive that's not what was there from the factory. And that doesn't look too healthy either. We'll be fixing that stuff when we put it back together for sure. It actually wasn't that tight. Considering that being the driver's seat, I would think it'd be a little tighter than that, but hey, I mean, yeah, they're not tight at all. I mean, they're barely on there, and I think that's because they've raised this floor. When they put this floor in, they raised it up, and it took away some of the threads there that they had before. I mean, yeah, because there's not even hardly any threads there. If you guys can see, there was only there's two bolts there. There's one right there, and then one over there. And then if you go around the back here, get all this stuff out of the way, there's two more bolts there. You just take those loose, and you should be able to pull the captain's chair completely up and off the floor. I'm going to say this is probably going to be pretty heavy, and so you might need help removing it. And that's about all there is to that. Hey guys, I always like when I can. I was using my ratchet, my electric ratchet earlier. It's this guy right here. It does a pretty good job on most stuff. I think it's kind of like a, it's called Von Haas. It's like a knockoff brand or something. I got it on Amazon. It does a pretty good job. It's just got a little battery in there. But normally I like to use my impact. All I do is I use a little adapter like this. It's just a 3/8 adapter, so it'll fit any 3/8 socket. And you can use regular sockets like this. I mean, it doesn't do anything crazy like shatter the sockets. I mean, I guess it could if you hammered on it long enough, but I've never had it happen, and I've used crappy sockets with it. These particular sockets are actually pretty decent, but I use it for everything I can. Why waste the muscle whenever you can use a power tool? You're really not supposed to use this ratcheting wrench like this, but it is what it is. My other regular manual wrench is hiding somewhere, and I don't feel like looking for it, so. What the setup is on all RVs, but there is a steel plate that goes up on the wall that this all mounts to. And if you're wondering what I'm doing there, if you look at these guys, if you see these little guys here, they're like a 90-degree bracket. It's basically how all of these valances are put together. And you see there's one, kind of hard to see, but there's still one of those up here. That's basically what these mount to. Like if you look right here, there's one right there. That's how they're mounted to the wall. And you can use Phillips head screws, but if you guys can see that, they're Phillips / square. I prefer to use a square. It doesn't slip, so you don't strip them out. It works pretty good. But yeah, that's all there is to taking these down. And I was able to take just that section down, so I didn't have to pull the whole thing down. I can keep my curtain up there. And why I take this apart, I actually do have a HEPA filter running in here. Whenever I start to tear all this stuff off, the old wood, I'm actually going to I bought some some sheets of plastic. Painters use it and stuff. You can buy it at any hardware store. I'm going to tape it up to just keep this section here basically separate from the rest, so any dust or if there is any mold in here, it'll stay up here. And then also I have the HEPA filter running back there. So if anything does make its way back there, that'll take care of it. They do a pretty good job at getting rid of mold and a lot of other things in the air. So as you can see, I took this off. It was over here. There was some disassembly had to do. This right here is the the Allison transmission controller. It's what changes your modes and what gear you're in. And then also I have air brakes because I got a Class A diesel. Here's my air brake assembly. I didn't have to disassemble any of it, so that wasn't a big deal. I just was able to push it through there and then bring it back out, just sit it up on the dash. But I've got everything out, the trim and stuff. I'm not going to do anything with the window yet. This frame may have to come out. I don't know yet. Eventually I got to have this glass replaced in this one anyways because it's fogged up. I live in Indiana. There's a company in Elkhart that actually does permanent repairs on these. They use, it's what's called laminated glass. I haven't really done a lot of research on it, but I heard that it works, and that this won't happen again. That seal that gets broken there, and then you get condensation in between the glass. These particular models had issues with that for some reason or another. But yeah, that's another day. Anyways, I've got this all done. As you can see, I've got a mess on my hands. So what I'm gonna have to do now is tape all this off here and then start tearing this out. It's just a floating floor that they've got over it. Unfortunately, we like this floor. I'm not gonna be able to save this stuff through here because they got too much water in it. So we'll figure something out.